Tapped in exclusive. We are the internet, bitch.
You're on the Tapped In podcast. We are the internet. I'm your host, Kevin Melody, and I'm joined today by incredible producer, JG.
What's up, man?
JG.
Happy to be here.
Dude, welcome to the show. I'm so excited that we actually got you in here to do an exclusive producer interview. I want to start off with kind of like what got you into beats?
Man, when I was a little kid, growing up, I started playing drums in like 6th grade.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And so like I always kind of made music. It was always just like a little hobby on the side.
Okay.
And I always like listened to like alternative rock shit when I was younger.
Oh,
and then,
nice.
And then when I was in high school,
What was your alternative rock shit that you liked?
oh man,
That's like, because I liked alternative rock shit too.
I don't want to go into it. I don't want to go into it.
All right.
But no, really in high school is like when I started listening to like a lot of rap shit. And
Okay.
then like
Okay.
I always loved the rock shit because now I played drums. I could play drums to it.
Yeah, naturally. Yeah.
Right. But then once I like got into high school, like I started hearing all these beats, and that was like what really like sparked my interest. I was like immediately when I was listening to it, like I was listening to the words, but like really hearing the music behind it, I was just like, how did they do this? How, like
The production.
Right. So that's like, I mean, I didn't really start producing in high school, but that was
Right.
really when like the interest sparked. And then
Right.
like probably like in middle of college or so, like I realized that the same software I would use to DJ
Yeah.
was the
so
same
you were
one.
DJing?
Yeah, I was DJing like house parties in high school and college and whatnot.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I realized that like that same software that I used to DJ was like the
Right.
ones they used to a lot of people were using to produce.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, let me just try this. And
Right.
like, you know, it was always a hobby. Like I went to college for business. Like I was like gonna do the whole 9 to 5. Like
You
know,
had a whole plan.
you know,
Yeah.
and then I was like, I did do that really, but like I would always do music on the side. And then probably like 3 years ago or so, I started like taking music very seriously.
Oh.
And only like a year and a half ago did I like quit my actual
9 to 5
job
and
like really lock in and start doing this full time. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's like literally the dream.
Yeah, no,
That's great.
It's
Yeah.
cool. It's cool. It's been great.
What made you, or I guess, all right, let me first wrap up the origin story here. So you were DJing and then you jumped into production after DJing.
Right. Yeah.
What did you like start producing? Were you starting to produce like trap shit at the time? Like what year was this for context?
I'd say like it was around like 2013, 2014.
Okay,
And like
okay.
I always really liked trap shit. Like
Okay.
when I
gotcha.
was DJing though, actually I was DJing a lot of house stuff, but I never
Oh,
really
shit,
got
okay.
into producing house stuff.
House
like,
music.
Like
yeah.
I tried it for a little bit, and like it's just, I mean, I even tried to make dubstep in the beginning, and like
I think
it's just
everyone
so
does
much
that.
work, like to like all the LFOs and like just all this different stuff. I was
Yeah.
like, you know what, like
It's not your
yeah,
cup of
exactly.
tea.
I was like, you know, I was really big into Gucci Mane, and I was like,
Hell
oh, you know
yeah.
what, like those beats
I'm like
sound crazy.
the largest Gucci man.
Yeah, so you know, I just went into that. And,
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's always kind of been some rap shit when I was producing.
What like when you started producing, when you were producing like in the early days, finding your sound must have been like really like an interesting process.
Oh yeah,
you know?
yeah.
In finding your sound, did you collaborate with any rappers in the beginning, like the early days of producing, or was it just you cooking solo?
You know, I had a roommate who rapped at the time. That was actually
Nice.
kind of why I really started. Like, I always wanted to do it, but I really
Right.
started doing it because I seen like my other friends,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh yeah, like he's making beats for me." So I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let me like, after school, I was like, let me just like put on my headphones and try it. And like,
Nice.
obviously, that music was interesting to say the least. But
Do you
but
still
yeah.
have it?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I still,
You got
I still
like a
go
folder?
back. Yeah, I still go back and like I laugh at myself sometimes.
Nice.
But no, it's cool. I never really like had a focus though. I kind of just made what came out.
Right.
And then when I started to figure out what I was doing, I was like, all right, let me hone in here.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And so, who was like one of the like who's your beat inspiration? Like, who would you say is like a producer that really got you
That's
in
an
the
easy
early
one.
stages?
Hurt. Who's
Hurt.
still to this day one
Shout
of my
out
best
Hurt.
friends, collaborators.
Nice.
But like no, for real, like when I started working with Hurt, like really at the beginning, like I'd say like 2014,
Okay.
I wasn't really working with him. Like I was just at his house, at his studio.
Around
while
him?
He was,
Yeah.
But no, like seeing him do his thing, and he had all these legends around him, and Chief Keef, Fredo, all these
Right,
guys
right.
coming in, and like I just saw that whole environment. And that shit was like it was very enticing to me, and
Yeah.
and he like really took me under his wing and like really helped me
Nice.
out like since the beginning. So you know, shout out Hurt. But
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
great. because you frequently collaborate with Hurt on songs today, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
presently.
yeah. It's cool to see like someone who I always like looked up to, and then now I get to work with.
That's
him
fucking
too.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. And you guys just dropped something with Young Gleesh.
yeah, yeah. He dropped his project last Friday.
Nice.
Got a couple songs on there.
Oh, cool. And is it all the tracks on his project are you and Hurt, or is it just you
Oh no,
on
it's
a couple? Or?
I think me and Hurt did a couple. Also, Foster was on there too with us on one of them, and then I think there's actually a couple other producers on there. I know you know Young God. There's like a couple other guys who did other beats for him. We didn't do the whole project, but I think we did like a couple of the songs. Probably I did 2 specifically with Hurt, and then 1 with Foster. And and then I think there's only about 6 songs on the project, so it was a good portion of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so, for you, when did you? Because you said you up until like a year and a half ago. Mm-hmm. That's fair? Like time frame. You were working a 9 to 5. Mm-hmm. So, what changed? Like, what got you into that
really
next level?
What was that moment was I was like, I mean, things were kind of picking up with the producing.
Right.
And, I would be at work and I'd be getting phone calls like, hey, can you make it to this session? Can you do this? And one day it was like a super important session with some of the YSL guys, not Thug himself, but like T Shine and Strick and all those guys. Yeah. They were over at this studio and I was supposed to pull up and I couldn't make it. So I literally walked into my boss's office and I was like, yo,
I'm done.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I gave him some time out. I was like, here,
he wasn't a dickhead.
You got a month, but I had to leave.
You did what you had to do.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
For you, which is, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So after you did that and you decide like you're on your own and you're fucking going to make beats full time.
Yeah.
Who was your first collaborator? Like, what was your first big thing once you were like full time?
Well, I mean, the first one actually was Strick. That was from YSL. That was like, I think December of 2017, like right before 2018 started. That was like the first one where it was like I did this beat for him and it came out. That was actually with As Holy Beats, which is me and my friend Galen. We do a lot of stuff together. Beats. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, that's a production duo that I've been working with him forever. It's like since I really started this shit. Yeah.
And so the two of you put that together.
Exactly. Yeah. We work a lot together. He does like a lot of like the melody side of things, and then like I'll go ahead and like turn it into a beat. You know, add the drums, arrange.
Nice.
Not, but shout out Galen.
That's crazy that you can bring your drum knowledge. Do you know what I mean? Just kind of like bring it to the game in a way that a lot of people can't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't play drums. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You could take your gift and turn it into something else. I think that's super cool because like I spoke to Bluey. Shout out Bluey.
Shout out Bluey. Best producer I know.
Yeah, when I spoke to him, especially when I met him, he told me, that he came up in like a band. Like he was in like a metal band. He played guitar. He did all this stuff like prior. You know what I mean?
Right.
To end up making beats and using all the stuff that you technically have, like all your technical skills,
right,
is crazy. Like it's really incredible.
Yeah, it's cool to see it all come together. When you start like making the beats and stuff, you don't even really realize it at first. But then like you'll be sitting there and you're like, okay, there's probably a reason I'm better at doing the drums than I'm better at doing the rest, right?
Doing the melody.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense. Sense. And so after you do that collab, you're working full time. What were some of the because you ended up collaborating with, you said Strick.
Yeah, well, that was the first one.
That was the first big one? Okay. So who else did you collaborate with after that was like one of your favorites that you can name? Let's
see. From there, I went on to work with another one of the YSL guys, is for T Shine, and then in that year, the biggest one for me that year, probably like 3 months later, was me and Hurt did a song with Chief Keef, which was like
nice
for me. Like Chief Keef is like one of the ultimate best rappers, like legend. So that was like super big for me.
Did you have to, because I know when you're cooking, you're probably solo. But when the beat comes to lyrics, comes to Chief Keef, are you in the room at that time?
Yeah, actually, we made the beat with Chief Keef.
No way.
Yeah, he was like part of the. He literally made the beat with. He's a crazy producer.
That's so cool that he was like open to working in a.
Yeah, we did the whole thing from start to finish with him there.
Wow.
And then recorded it with him there. He was fully a part of the process.
Did he just on the spot write bars, or
he didn't even write it? He just stood in front of the mic.
Off the dome.
Just stood in front of the mic and made
Shout
it happen.
out Chief Keef.
Yeah.
That's like a legend, bro. That's an underrated skill.
Yeah.
That's actually very like Gucci of him.
Yeah.
Like Gucci Mane type shit.
I mean, honestly, I worked with a lot of different artists at this point, and like I'm not saying like like it's not like I wouldn't say like a disappointment sometimes, but sometimes
Right.
when you see the process, you're like, oh, I would have expected this to be different. Or
Right,
with
right.
him, it was like the total opposite. It was like, wow, this is something I would have never
Yeah.
expected to be possible.
Right.
So it was super crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like a dream come true.
Yeah.
If anything. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So you had that experience, and then going from there, were there any other notable ones that you really liked working
Yeah, I
with?
mean,
Like,
we got some. Another one, Young Lean. That was like someone I always listened
Shout
to
out
back
Young
in the
Lean,
day.
yeah.
Like, that was a real
Young
cool
Lean's
one.
a killer. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of stuff with Azizi Gibson as well.
Oh,
That's
shit,
also as
okay.
Holy Beats with Galen. So
Okay, that makes sense.
yeah, I mean, I got like 2 separate projects. Always, I
Right.
got like my own stuff and the Holy Beats
And
stuff.
Holy
so I just
Beats,
want to
yeah.
make sure that like I let
that's
them know which
crazy.
one's which. But yeah, a lot of cool different people. Then with Hurt, and then working with Lil Dude, who was like super crazy. Like
Yeah.
he's another one of those ones where you like see him actually work in his process. And you're like,
Right.
damn, like this fool's real crazy.
He's like a real.
Yeah. Another one where he didn't write anything down, just like sitting there like bar for bar.
Yeah. No, that's.
Yeah.
I think that's extremely underrated.
Yeah.
Obviously.
For real.
But to see, like, because I know that when you collaborated with Lil Dude last, was it that track? Because one of them got picked up by Euphoria, right?
Yeah.
What-
The feelings, that one. I was
Feelings,
actually with
okay.
Hurt and Foster.
Oh, no
Yeah,
way.
Yeah.
So it was the 3 of you
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then Lil Dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
We had made the beat one night, and then he came by like probably an hour later and recorded on it. But that was like for his mixtape, I think in like November of last year. It got picked up later on by the show, which was super crazy.
How did you
obviously.
know? Did anyone send you an email or like how?
We got hit up by Lil Dude's manager. They had talked to him about it, so we really don't know how at least how that actually happened, the
Like, what the
process of
process-
how they chose it. But we were all super happy. Like, obviously it's a crazy show. Shout
Yeah.
out HBO, like that was.
Did you see it on the show?
Yeah.
Or did they text you before?
Oh no! We had to get like a lot of paperwork done
Paperwork, yeah,
beforehand.
yeah.
Yeah, but we were waiting for it on the show because
Yeah.
we already knew. Yeah,
Okay.
they're HBO is super professional with their business. Obviously,
yeah, of
they know
course,
what they're
yeah.
doing. But so yeah, no, we had known about it probably like first heard about it in like February of this year. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. I got you. That makes sense.
yeah.
So you get that. Obviously, Lil Dude is someone you collaborated with recently. Looking forward, like into your future, if you had a crystal ball, who would you want to see yourself like collaborating with?
That's easy. I mean, like just the people I grew up like really fucking with. I mean, especially like Future. That's
Okay,
a huge
Future,
one
yeah.
for me.
Shout
Young
out Future.
Thug, huge one for me.
Shout out
Travis
Young
Scott.
Thug.
Obviously Drake. Who doesn't want a song with Drake? Like
That's
you know.
true.
And then a lot also like that's obviously like the bigger names, but I'm honestly really into like the fostering and like bringing up new artists.
Bringing
so
artists,
like
yeah.
I don't even. It doesn't always have to be a name for me. Like I'm working with this artist right now, Sweet Sound.
Sweet Sound, okay.
Yeah, he's got his own little buzz right now. I'm not saying he's like
Yeah.
really from the start, but like he's super talented, and he's like
Cool.
probably my favorite of all the projects that I'm working on right now.
Wow.
And,
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out
he's-
Sweet Sound.
Yeah. He's crazy. We got some shit coming out on August 13th, so like next week.
Oh
Some
wow.
crazy shit. So,
Where can we find it? Spotify or?
that'll be on all streaming platforms.
okay,
Spotify,
great.
Apple. That one would also be produced by Holy Beats, me and Galen again.
Oh
So,
shit.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You really do like? Do you just like one project Holy Beats, one project?
I mean,
you?
it just depends on like the artist, and
Like-
like because I have all the beats. I have the ones I've done with all my
Right.
friends, with Bluey, with Hurt.
Right,
So
right.
it's just really what the artist picks. I have
Wow.
them all in one place. But
Right.
yeah,
That's
with the stuff with
crazy.
Sweet Sound, he really seems to navigate towards the Holy Beat stuff. So
Nice.
yeah, mostly everything we've done for him would be produced by me and Galen. So
And the Holy Beat stuff, is that more like, what kind of sound is that? Is it like heavier on like?
I'd say still. I mean, like as far as the drums and bass side of things, it's still in that like trap realm. But like you know,
Right.
Galen, he comes from like a little bit of like a different school of thought. He's definitely from like a more like kind of more trained. sense.
Classically
Yeah.
trained.
Yeah, so he
He's like a good ear and
he
shit.
does. Yeah, he loves like R&B and stuff. So he'll make like super like weird cool melodies, and I'll just like make it kind of bounce, you know, with like the new sound. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Damn. So, obviously, that's something that you got going. In terms of, like I said, artists that you want to collaborate with, you mentioned Future, Young Thug. Is there anyone else on that list that you may have left off? Do you want like, have you collaborated with Gucci yet or no?
No, I mean that's like I feel like I almost feel like it's like that. I mean, I'm saying that not that the opportunity has passed, but he's just not really like making as much music as he
Right.
used to make. Like
Yeah.
so, like realistically,
yeah.
of course, I would love to collaborate with Gucci.
If you can get
he's
in
a legend. Like honestly, any name that you can think of, I'm out here just really trying to go up. So like
Yeah.
any of these guys, bro, I'll work with them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
If you could give, starting out producers, kids that are just coming up making beats and shit, advice, what would be your JG advice? Like, what would you give them? Like, keep pushing, or what?
Go get another job. go work a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm really just playing.
Yeah.
No, but really, if it is what you want to do, then you have to do it. You
gotta
have to
do
really
it.
like spend every moment of every day of your life like really dedicated to it, which is really hard for some people because you still got to pay your rent and whatnot. And I would never discourage people by saying like, oh, don't do this. That was a total joke.
Right.
But like, if you are gonna do it, just know that you're gonna struggle. It's gonna take a lot of time.
Right.
And like, just if you don't feel like you're there yet, like, just keep pushing forward.
Just keep
because
pushing.
you never know when that moment is. Like I said, I've been doing this for a while, so.
Yeah, that makes sense. Have you had any shows? Have you ever put on like a beat set? Have you done anything like that?
No,
or?
back when I was DJing and stuff more, I'd be like, I'd DJ for like certain artists, or like, have a like I remember one of the first artists I ever worked with. I DJ'd a show for him with like Dom Kennedy and Kendrick and all those guys. But this is like when those guys were really nobodies at the time, really.
Yeah, back in the day.
But yeah, no, I don't really. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to doing such a thing, but I really kind of stay on the back side of things, like in the studio,
collaborate. Side, yeah. That's fucking great, man. Yeah. So if we want people to find your work, like, what gets you paid as a producer? Should they be hitting up Spotify, SoundCloud, what
streams, like Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, always good, but like it's much harder to monetize. So like I would definitely say Spotify or Apple Music. With Euphoria, just watch HBO.
Just keep watching.
Like that. Yeah.
Watch the Lil Dude episode.
Watch. It's the first episode, which I was really happy about because it's like even if you don't like the show, you'll probably at least watch the first one. It's like having the first song on iTunes on the tape.
Yeah,
it's like,
okay, because it's the tester.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Everyone's gonna listen to that shit.
Yeah.
All right, so watch episode 1 of Euphoria, and then. Please. How do I get people to follow you? Do you have like an IG that you want to plug?
My IG is beats_ain't_free_JG.
Beats_ain't_free_JG.
Also at holy_beats.
Okay.
Too.
At holy_beats.
Yeah. I really do most of my everything through social media, through Instagram specifically. So those would be the best 2 places
those
to
are the
go.
Ones. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, thanks for coming on the show. Thank you for providing our audience with some insight on production. That's fucking crazy. Thanks a lot again.
Appreciate you guys for having me.
Be sure to follow beatsaintfree_JG on Instagram. Be sure to follow us on Spotify, Instagram, and be sure to tap that bell. Subscribe. Be sure to get all of our notifications. Thanks a lot for tapping in. We're tapping out.
Okay.
They're tapping out while you're tapped in.